It's Dr. Nick from my academy in Mallorca. Brilliant sunny day, and our air conditioning has broken down, which is probably this explains why I'm soaking in sweat. We are a scientific club and we analyse things scientifically. I am a proper scientist, a real scientist, and we analyse the karate rumours, the stuff that's been passed down for thousands of years, and see if they really work. And most of them don't. But we're discussing the 3-inch punch today. And surprisingly, the 3-inch punch does have a lot of redeeming features. I'm going to teach it you today. And you're going to need to practice it an awful lot. But if you can master the 3-inch punch, and I'm not saying I have, then you can turn your feeble punch into the most devastating blow. If you fall out with a boxer in the street and you hit him as hard as you want in the face, all he'll do is smile at you. They practice to do it. I've trained with a lot of boxers. I trained Frank Bruno for a year, as in karate. Right? Lovely blow, absolutely lovely blow. That all they've got is their punches, which are absolutely deadly compared to ours. And we don't really train to take a punch. I can train you, teach you, by mastering 3-inch punch, to punch as hard as they do, and they punch a bag 1,000 times every morning, the minute they get out of bed. And it's the 3-inch punch that does it. Now, it was brought to us by Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was an interesting man. He wasn't an educated man, he was an intelligent man. And that doesn't always go for karate instructors, sadly. It's very unusual to find an academic like me who teaches karate. Now, I'm rotten at karate, but I'm good at the science of it. Please listen to me on the science. I know what I'm talking about, the science. Now, Bruce Lee was born in San Francisco, actually, and he was moved to Hong Kong, where he became involved in the street gangs, and they brought him back to America to take him out the gangs. He knew what he was doing, did Bruce. He had a dojo in Beverly Hills. I've been in it, and it's like a shrine nowadays. It's got a sign up and says, if anyone can beat me, I will give them the dojo. And he lasted 8 years. I would last half of one of my lessons before one of the kids took it off me, like this. This was a man who knew what he could do. Now, lots of stories about some of the hard men of Hollywood actually beating him up, this sort of thing, and I'm sure it's true because he only weighed 7 stone. He weighed less than most of the ladies. Why I'm talking about this is he made the 3-inch punch popular, and so this is my little shrine to him, because the thing I want to say is Bruce Lee died because he didn't understand basic science. Very sad. If only he'd have talked to a physicist, then he wouldn't have had to die. He was making all these brilliant movies, and they were, especially in those days, and he got it into his mind that if he lost some weight, he would stay in the air longer. Now let me show you a bit of science. Easy science. It's stuff you learnt when you were 13. Promise you. You learnt it when you were 13. How do I know? I was responsible for writing the syllabus, the physics syllabus, for a British education system. If you drop these 2 balls at the same time, which will hit the ground first? Obviously, it's going to be the bigger one, the heavy one. Yes? It's obvious it's going to. Yeah? We all know that. Ask anybody. Ask your mum and dad, anyone in the street. Of course it's going to. Except it's not true. What will actually happen... Now, I can't drop them exactly at the same time, but if I drop them, they will hit the ground at the same time. That is basic physics. It's Newton's law of gravitation. Everything falls at the same rate. If you throw a grand piano, cricket ball, a gorilla, that fan out of a plane at 10,000 feet, they'll all hit the ground at the same time. Everything accelerates at the same rate according to gravity. Now, if someone had mentioned that to Bruce Lee, then he would still be alive, because he took off 30% of his body weight, and he only weighs 7 stone, in 3 months. And if anyone, I put my arm around, I'd say, Bruce, it won't make any difference. You're trying to change the laws of gravity. And he had a headache from the water loss, and he took 1 aspirin, and the salicylic acid in the aspirin gave him a brain edema swelling, and it killed him. That's what killed Bruce Lee. He wasn't assassinated. That's what killed him. A lack of knowledge and science. So this is my little memory of him. He's wasn't particular here on me, but he was an intelligent man. The 3-inch punch. This is the 3-inch punch. There. Now that's not the 3-inch punch. You don't go to someone and go there, but you've got to master this first. The 3-inch punch works because it is 2 basic physics laws. What you're going to do is this move here. Is bang, twist, 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 here. You're not hitting with it, you're twisting. If I put it against the wall, yeah, and twist, twist. It's not even going forward. It's just twisting, twisting, twisting. And faster, faster you can twist. Never mind about forward. Faster you twist it, the better. Faster you twist it. Fastest way you can fall, second part, is 10 meters per second squared. That is the force due to gravity. Okay? So we're going to now fall. We're going to put a different part of it. And we're going to fall. We're going to go, hey. You're going to completely relax your body, like someone shot you through a brainstem. And you're going to completely collapse. Hey, and then catch it there. Right, hey. You don't lower yourself, you collapse. There's no faster way of falling unless someone's pulling you down. Right? It's whoa, whoa, whoa. Now all you've got to do is put those 2 together. Right? There's your punch. And as you do that, hey, 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 there. Now what we're doing is, as I keep on hitting you with Newton's second law, force equals mass times acceleration. The force of anything is the acceleration multiplied by the mass. Now for us, it's body weight multiplied by the speed. Forget the other mathematical thing. The body weight, how much body weight you can put behind it, that's virtually all of it. Multiplied by the speed here, right? And boom, this here. Now that's the first physical law. Bang, here. The second physical law is even simpler. It's absolutely obvious. If you hit someone with a fist, you're hitting them with that hitting plane there. That's why little kids, when you say, come and punch me here, and they hit you and you go, shit, that hurt. It's because their fists are tiny, and their fists go in a lot further than your big fist. If you chop somebody, forget the fingers, they just flail off. You're chopping with 1/3 of the space there. Right? So, basic physics, it will go in 3 times further. That's why chop is usually banned. It is so much more dangerous. It will go in 3 times further than the fist. If you're doing this, you're hitting with this knuckle here. 1/3 of the fist. So this is now going in 3 times further. Bang! You see them line people up. And then they hold the fist there. Woo! And the end one falls off. Well, he does if it's a club member of yours. Right? Because it's mainly jokes, mainly fickle ladies. But the idea is the force penetrates. Well, it does penetrate. Right? It goes in further than a fist because it is so much smaller. And the force comes from that business. Now, I'm going to show you how to practice this, and I'm going to show you how to put it together. We're going to go to the other side of the dojo. This is where I teach science. So if you can follow me over here. And you need a very advanced piece of equipment, the order of NASA. This is here, painted. Fairly heavy, on a smooth surface. You put your hand against it, and you do that move. Right? I am not hitting the tin. Don't hit the tin. You're not hitting the tin. You're putting your hand against it. And if you just flick it, it'll go like that. But if I put my body weight behind it, watch what happens. And what we do, we practice on either side. Just that move. And I bought this, it's so important, I bought the paint can over, right, to the dojo. I found out this morning, got up early to find it out. Right? Because this is how, there's no other way I know of practicing it. Right? Let's go back in the dojo. It's less of a mess. Now, you do that 1,000, 10,000 times, and you will get a 3-inch punch. That's not true. You've got to walk around the street going, yeah, oh, yeah. I don't mean that. You throw your normal punch, right? Throw your normal punch, and right at the last second, bang, you throw the 3-inch punch. Wah, like that. Say hook punch. Wah, like that. Oh, what's the basic? Right, bang, and as you hit him, you sag, and you flick the fingers like that. Have a nice heavy bag to work out on, right? And I've told this before, if you hit the bag and it swings and you think, oh, look at that, what have you done? What possible use is that to you? If you've got, there's a big boxer coming for you in the street, and you hit him and it pushes him back, do you think that's going to stop him? All that's going to do is annoy him. You hit a heavy bag, that's a person, and you dent it. It stays there and you dent it, and then you've hit them with a reasonable punch. It's that denting business. So 10,000 times this business, then put it into the heavy bag and don't ever use it except for self-defense, because that's the 3-inch punch. The 1-inch punch, Bruce Lee also made popular. You go that way, then that way. And I can't make it work at all, and I can't see the point of it. So I'm not even going to bother with it. And I say one last thing. If I say Henry Cooper, he's more my age group. He was the heavyweight boxing champion of Great Britain. He was the bloke who knocked out Muhammad Ali. Right? Now, I told you the story so often, he knocked out Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali shouldn't even be saying we're English Henry Cooper. Muhammad Ali was a genius. Henry Cooper was our heavyweight champion. We all loved him, and Henry. But Muhammad Ali was a genius. And when he was fighting Henry, he was taking the mickey out the whole time. Come on, he just changed his name to Muhammad Ali. Come on, what's my name? What's my name? Come on, what's my... Oh, shit, bang. And he walked on to Henry's hammer. Like one, there. And it was the Henry's hammer, Henry's hook, and it was his one good move. And you probably know the story. The bell went. In those days, it ended the count. They got him, they dragged Muhammad Ali, you can see it on YouTube, to the side. Angelo Dundee cut his glove, gave him 8 minutes to find a new glove. By then, he took Henry seriously, got him in the next minute or so, finished him off in the corner like this. As he should, because he should have won, we all know he should. But why am I talking about Henry Cooper? He was not an educated man. He wasn't an intelligent man. He still holds the record for the most takes of an advert. Right aftershave, splash it all over. That's all he had to say, splash it all over. 128 takes. Right? He was a nice man, I think. I never met him. But when I said at Kona Karate, I read everything on all the martial arts to make sure I knew what I was doing, and I read Henry Cooper's book. And he absolutely stunned me, something he said. He said, I was about 8 and I was working out in the bag, and I learned that if I did my hook and I sort of sagged behind it and flipped the wrist at the last second, it turned it into a much better punch. So 20 years before Bruce Lee came along, Henry Cooper was winning the British Championship with a 3-inch punch. That's what made Henry's hammer, and I thought that was quite interesting. Okay folks, I hope to see you all next week. I hope you have weather as good as us. Thank you very much.